How good can a cup of capsule coffee taste? This is a relatively simple question, but it's actually much more difficult to answer. And I think the question we're more interested in is how can we utilise this brew method to showcase the characteristics of specialty coffee that get us all so excited. Where we need to start is we need to recognise that it is a different brewing method, and that completely impacts on how we roast coffee. So if we were going to roast for a filter coffee or an espresso coffee, we would do something very different to either accentuate acidity, improve body, and we had to do the same thing here. What sets these brewing methods apart from, say, a pour over on an espresso machine are the following 3 points. Pressure is actually much higher. The temperature is slightly lower, it's a stable 88 to 90 degrees. And last of all, there's the different strength. It's about a 5% strength. Espresso is much higher, let's say 8 to 10. And a filter coffee much more delicate and tea-like, let's say around 1.2%. And so we approach the roasting really differently, but it doesn't stop there. We had to really understand the intricacies of the technology itself. So capsules, for example, look very simple. They are a small, either metal or plastic container. And you'd be absolutely amazed how the difference between a 20 micron lid and a 30 micron lid completely changes body, flow rate, texture and extraction. The way the coffee capsule collapses at the bottom has a huge impact on how good the cup of coffee tastes and how it flows. And so that's the one side of this whole project, is getting coffee to taste amazing in a capsule. And that's extremely exciting. In fact, what we're doing is we're taking the role of the barista, one that we have competitions for, one that's becoming more and more highly regarded, and we're overseeing that role for you. We're carefully dosing, carefully grinding and roasting the coffee, knowing exactly how it's going to be brewed to achieve the perfect cup of coffee. But freshness is also something that we can get very excited about. If we can use a production line that has the quality and the precision to get us under 1% oxygen, suddenly we can capture the coffee at exactly the right age from roast, ground perfectly freshly. We can capture that in time, ready for anybody to come along at any moment and enjoy. What we have here is the Magimix Initia. This is a very reasonably priced machine that comes in at £60. The Dualit Classic is a premium machine that comes in at £250. Now, both of these machines are capable of brewing exceptional coffee with our capsules. The first thing you need to do is fill up the water reservoir. You need to fill this all the way to the top, and you need to fill it with excellent brewing water. As with any cup of coffee made with any brewing method, the better the water, the better the flavour of the cup of coffee. This brewing method is no different. Now today, we have perfectly mineralised water to hand, but there's a couple of things you can do to improve your brewing water wherever you are. We recommend Aqua Panna as a bottled water, or a simple Brita water jug will improve the quality of your water and your coffee. So the next thing we need to do is to turn on our machine and allow it to come up to heat. The lights will begin to flash, and when we hit the right temperature, these lights will become constant. Now that our machine is up to temperature, we need to prime the machine. We need to do this for a couple of reasons. We don't want any air in the system when we begin to brew the coffee, and we need to heat everything up. So take any vessel, and you're going to engage the regular pour button and allow it to go through one cycle. So next we need to take our capsule and get ready to brew. This is one of our discovery capsules. This coffee is from southwest Ethiopia, from a mill called Biftu Gadina. It's a really characterful coffee full of floral notes. It's quite juicy and creamy. One small but important tip is to give the capsule a shake. This makes sure the coffee is evenly distributed and we can achieve a good flow rate and the perfect extraction. Next, we're going to place our capsule into the top of the machine and engage the mechanism. At this point, two things are happening. The back of the capsule is collapsing in and creating 6 points for water to come through, and the front has been pierced, ready for the coffee to come out of the other side. We'll take our cup and engage our brewing button. And so finally, we need to make sure we keep our coffee machine clean. Oils can build up over time and these will taint the cup. If you use your machine every day of the week, we recommend going through the cleaning procedure once a week. Now take a simple cleaning agent, Cafetto or Pulicaf, and you're going to add 1 scoop of this to a quarter filled tank. You're going to make sure there's no capsule engaged inside the system, and you're simply just going to rinse that water through the system, and that's going to clean it, and you'll be ready to go. So each of these machines will come with a factory preset, which effectively gives us 2 different brew recipes, a short and a long. Now what we mean by a brew recipe is the amount of coffee to the amount of water. Now this is integral to the quality of the cup of coffee. And to perfect the results with our coffee, we recommend setting a very specific brew recipe. For our shorts, we want a cup of coffee that weighs 25 grams. And for our longs, we want a cup of coffee that weighs 65. It's very, very simple to reset these settings on each of the machines. I'm going to demonstrate it on the Magimix Inicia. Do check your manual just in case your machine has a separate programming procedure. So what we've done here is we've put our scales beneath the spout of the machine, and to get them right underneath we've taken the drip tray out. We're then going to tear those scales, and we're going to go to make a coffee exactly how we normally would. Except normally we just press the button, release it, and it will brew to the factory preset. This time, however, we're going to press the button down and we're going to hold it continuously until we achieve the weight we want. So I've released the button just before 25 grams. The machine will now save this to its memory, and every time we engage that button, we'll get the perfect brew recipe for our coffee. For the long capsules, of course, we want a different length, so we follow exactly the same procedure, except this time we'll wait till the scale reaches 65 grams before we release the button. Programming our machine like this ensures that you get the best out of our capsules.